Brendan,
Second.
second by Wright, all in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes, 2 absence. Action to determine closed session. We had a request for unpaid leave, absence. It was,
Student expulsion period.
okay, yeah, we got the expulsion hearing first, you're right. Expulsion hearing for student 45-24-25. And that was to expel the student and suspend the expulsion order with conditions. All in favor? I'm sorry, I need a motion.
You made the motion. I second.
That's right, all in favor?
Aye.
3, 2 absent. The unpaid, okay, leave of absence. We had a motion by Ms. Rendon, seconded by Wright, all in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Okay. Now, the next
The leave of absence was approved.
was approved. 3-0. And that was on the, okay, procedural issues, recording of this meeting is to be made, shall be kept for 30 days as a public record. Pledge of allegiance, everybody please stand. Mr. B, would you lead us today, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Members present, Mario is absent, I'm here. Sunny is absent, Adrian is here, Justin Wright is here, and Adrian, our student board member, is here. And so, approve agenda,
I do have a couple of
Yes.
corrections
okay,
before you read out. On page 7,
yes ma'am.
Campbell, Alicia Campbell, which was the very last person on that page. She should be listed as a mental health instead of a teacher.
Oh, okay,
On page 8, about halfway through, it's alphabetized, but Lauren Jacobs should be listed as a BCBA.
CCDA. Okay.
Behaviors. And on page 9, Megan Rodriguez, kind of near the top, she also should be listed as a mental health person.
Who's- who was that again?
Megan
Right,
Rodriguez,
okay,
she's mental health. And then just 2 down from her, Carissa Snyder should be listed as a BCBA.
Any other changes?
Nope, that's it, thank you.
okay. Okay, you have
I'll make a motion with the changes.
made, okay, with changes. Motion by Wright. You're in a second, okay. Let's see. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adrian? Aye. Reports and communications. We have no RTA today? Okay, it's an empty chair. I'll be careful, I'll get in trouble. CSCA, you're up,
All
sir.
right, so we finished our negotiations with the district a few weeks ago, went pretty quick and smooth. So it is on the agenda tonight for the board to approve it, which Mr. Irvin will explain later. We did have our chapter meeting last night, which passed 47 yes, 0 no. We also have our GPS MOU on the agenda tonight as well, which also passed last night, 47 yes, 0 no. Again, Mr. Irving will explain later. Other than that, our monthly labor meeting, the superintendent gate has been going good, getting things done. Other than that, just ready to finish out the school year and get ready for all the work that's coming my way. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Student board member, Adrian.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be back. I hope everybody had a good spring break. And just ready to get into the flow of things. And first, for my board report, I would like to start with what West Park Elementary has to announce for today's board meeting. I got you. Okay, so for starters, they want to announce that state testing is currently underway, right? Third graders is from April 28th to May 9th. Fourth graders from May 5th to May 9th, and fifth graders from May 12th to May 16th. West Point would like to just let families and students know that they would like the students to eat well, have good health eating habits, and just arrive at school on time. There will also be an award for students or a special incentive plan for students who have perfect attendance during their testing days, right? And then also, they'll also like to celebrate the end of the drama club season, right? They have the students performed a play called How I Became a Pirate, and then they would like to say that they did an outstanding job, and they would like to thank the drama club teachers, Jennifer, Torres, and excuse me if I mess up the second person. Genevieve Collins. I would like to just thank them for the leadership and dedication to the drama club, right? And then furthermore, they'd just like to announce that Teacher Appreciation Week is coming up from May 5th to May 9th at West Park Elementary, and they encourage families to participate, and have also posted stuff on Parent Square to just show how they can celebrate their teachers and staff. So that's all here in West Park. And then Rosemont and Tropical had no announcements, but Rosemont High did. So for starters, I'll just say that Rosemont High this Monday at 6, there was a valedictorian reception ceremony for the valedictorians, the seniors. There were 28 valedictorians this year in the graduating class, including me. I don't want to say. And then basically, as you guys probably know, it's just a culminative 4.0 GPA within the 4 years in your time in high school. And there was like, it was honestly a good ceremony. There was food served, and then we just like announced the students and their plans for the future, their accomplishments at the ceremony at 6 p.m. and what they're going to do in the future. And the macaroons were very good. Very good. And then also regarding Rosemont High, PSAT and CAS testing has begun, and AP testing begins next week. So I personally encourage students to just try the hardest, just finish the last mile, because we work all school year to this moment, so just finish strong. That's what I want to say to my fellow students. And then also at Rosemont High, there will be new lighting for drama, which is underway, and also a new play that's coming in drama. It's going to be called The Little Mermaid Junior, and from May 14th to May 16th, it'll be at 7 p.m., and May 17th will be at 2 p.m. The tickets are sold at the door with cash only, and tickets are $5 for kids, students, and SKUSD staff, and are $10 for adults for this play. So if you guys want to watch, show up. And then also, right now, Rosemont High is in the process of planning their master schedule for next year, so just currently in the works. And then honestly, last but not certainly least, it is the ribbon cutting for the new cafeteria will be held this Friday at 5 p.m. So that's something that I wish I could show up to, but I have work. But I am so excited because this construction has been underway. Probably since I was a sophomore. I've just been so excited to seeing it year by year progress and to see how beautiful it looks right now. I'm so excited to get to use the campus, or not the campus, the cafeteria, for a little time that I have. Yeah. And then now, just updates from Fallon and the Parent and Community Center. Just Fallon would first like to announce that next Tuesday, May 6th, is their last open forum night for the school year, and she'd like to just say that there'll be staff available to answer questions from many different departments. And also, Fallon would like to announce that Tuesday, May 13th, is the last class in the caregiver education series for the school year. The topic of the class is What's Next, Managing Life under High School. That's the last class. And then she would just lastly like to announce that the flyers for these events are on the district website under the Community Center tab. And then lastly, updates from Narderman. Narderman would just like to announce that one of our students named Liberty Grimes has received a $2,000 scholarship from APWA High Desert Chapter, and also that a few other students have also received scholarships from ADC. So he's proud to announce them. And then also, Narderman would also like to announce that he is in the process of concurrent enrollment for summer and fall, and that he would also like to remind students that he will be working during the summer, so if students have any questions about enrollment in these classes, so just let him know that he'll be happy to answer and get you guys enrolled. And also regarding enrollment, he is proud to announce that 52 of our graduating seniors have taken this one college class, or 29%. So he's glad to announce that there's been an increase of high school students taking college classes. And personally, I took 5, so yeah. So, and I just wrote this on a side note saying that's proving the name of Rosemont High Early College Campus Campus. The amount of college classes has been taken. And then just last but not least, Narderman would just like to announce that May 7th at 5 p.m. he will be holding a concurrent enrollment information night for parents and students at the library at Rosemont. And that's all.
Thank you. CEO Robert Irvin.
All right. Well, been a busy couple of weeks since we last met. District sold off a Series A bonds of the bonds that were voted for in November 2024. So we sold approximately $28 million worth of bonds to start getting projects underway, so that we can continue to put the taxpayers' money towards good use and improving campuses. Gonna circle back into spring break. A lot of construction happened around campuses while students were gone to help. It's a good time to be able to get a steamroller onto a campus when there aren't any kids around it. So there was some asphalt work at TMS that happened. Involved steamroller, some roofing repairs at the high school, ongoing construction at RES. West Park didn't have any construction, but it did have students for extended learning. So everybody had something happening during spring break. Busy time for a recess period. Jeremy already mentioned it. The TA with CSEA is on the board again, as well as the MOU for the QPS. So glad that everything was settled. Quickly and amicably. No hard feelings. Thought it was a 100% yes vote for it. What else is happening? We have the ribbon cutting, but I'll let Barbara talk more about that that she's going to. So I'll wrap up with that.
Thank you, sir. Assistant Superintendent, Structure and Curriculum, Dr. Mendez.
All right, good evening to everyone that joins us in person and also online. Got some updates. During spring break, we had expanded learning opportunities program. It was hosted at West Park Elementary School. We had about 63 students enrolled, and we offered enrichment. We also offered intervention, and then we had some STEAM activities for the students: science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. We were able to obtain some STEAM kits from KCSOS, Kern County Superintendent Schools, from the county office. They delivered some kits, and then students were able to learn and apply their skills in utilizing those kits. Some were focused around like circuits and electricity, so different types of activities for students in ELP. We'll continue with that in May, and then in June we will also offer expanded learning opportunities as well. So we had teachers helping us out as well as classified staff with hosting ELP. and administrators that were also supporting. Thank you all for the JLP spring break intercession opportunity that we offered there. Last week we had professional development online with Dr. Fisher. He was focused on belonging and how we can connect students to the school to continue to promote a positive school climate and culture. So those are items that he explained in his sessions. We had one session focused on elementary and one session focused on secondary. And he also provided some resources, which we put in the Google Drive and shared with the teachers. And then our school site administrators have been working on the school plan for student achievements. They're actually going to be presenting later this evening. You'll see the school report SIPSAS for informational purposes. First reading, 2025-2026 SIPSAS. And then we've been working on our summer school PD schedule as well, in terms of our offerings for the next school year. So it's something that we've been working on updating and looking at our offerings for the summer. Okay, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Mendes. Cheryl Taylor isn't here tonight, so we will go to Leanne, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources.
Good evening, everyone. We have a few open spots in the district, so we'll be holding some interviews tomorrow. So we have a number of our site administrators that will be joining me, and we have a number of candidates that will be coming as well. So hopefully we will get some of those spots filled. We continue to have substitute teachers that put in on EdJoin that are interested in working for the district. Kind of getting to the end of that, so by the time the board approved, we may not get too much of an opportunity to work in the district, but we will certainly try to keep them on board for next year. I think that is their goal, to continue doing that. Continue to process volunteers, parents, families that want to go on field trips or participate at school sites. Next Wednesday, at the board meeting, we will be celebrating our classified and certificated employees for their years of service, and that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So we do have a classified person that's going to get a 30-year pin, so that's exciting. And then the following board meeting, we will be honoring our retirees. So we have 3 certificated staff members and 1 classified person that is retiring. So that'll be exciting. We also are gearing up for summer school. So you'll see on the board agenda this week and next week, a number of staff have shown interest in participating in summer school. Many are listed on the board agenda for approval. Registration is just getting started at school sites, so a lot of people are wondering, hey, am I gonna have a spot? And I keep reminding them, well, it depends on student enrollment. So if you are interested in teaching summer school, make sure that you encourage your students to enroll in summer school. So that way you can give yourself a better shot at having that position. So but lots of interest. So that is it for me.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent's report, Mrs. Gaines.
Thank you, Mr. Vincelette. Good evening, and I want to thank all of our parents who are joining us from home, and also those of you in attendance this evening. I too want to stress the importance of state testing, and I'd like to ask my parents to please get their students to school on time, make sure they've had a healthy breakfast before they arrive. And if not, we will certainly see to it they get something at school so that they are prepared and ready to tackle those state tests. Last year, Southern Kern made significant growth on our CASP scores, and we would like to continue that on that journey. And we celebrated this year by having one of our schools become a California Distinguished School, and there's nothing to say that next year we couldn't have another one of our schools become a California Distinguished School. So let's, students, let's really give it 100% on the test. I want to congratulate Abraham Lincoln and Principal Calzada, because I received this letter today from WASC, and Abraham Lincoln received a 6-year accreditation status. It doesn't get any better than that in WASC. So they are accredited through June 30th of 2031 with a 3-year visit in between. So congratulations, Ms. Calzada, to your team. That is amazing. So I'm sure you guys are gonna do a little celebration over there. So one day we have to celebrate that. I also want to say that Adrian, I ran into some former colleagues from the Antelope Valley School Board, and they met you at, I can't remember what event it was. Do you know what event it was?
Former colleagues.
Yes, well, they said that I think you spoke maybe, or you introduced yourself, and they fell in love with Adrian. Let me just tell you that. And they were like, oh, he's been accepted at all these different schools. Which one is he going to, Mrs. Gaines? And I truly, Adrian, felt like a deer in the headlight, because guess what? I didn't have the answer. So I'm wondering tonight if you're gonna finally open that can of worms and let us know, where are you going next year, or is it still a secret?
Nah, it's not a secret. I could be very transparent about it.
Okay.
So I'm going to the University of California, Davis to study aerospace engineering.
Wonderful, wow. And I know that you were accepted at several schools, correct?
I was accepted to like UC San Diego, to like San Jose State, to, let me see what else, to UC Riverside, to Merced, and I was waitlisted to a few. To
Wonderful.
like UCLA, Cal Poly SLO.
Yeah, okay. UC Davis is a great school.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy, because I was like, oh, they're gonna ask me where he's going, and I don't know, but they fell in love. I don't know if you remember meeting Mrs. Smith, who is past president of Antelope Valley School Board. She's a director for California School Boards Association, but she just thought you were the cat's meow, let me tell you. So I wanted you to know that. So we are very proud of you, and we wish you the very, very best as you enter that new journey of your life. And one last thing for me, Friday is the ribbon cutting of the cafeteria at the high school, which a journey that we have been on for, I want to say, is it 3 or 4 years now, Robert? I don't know, but I'm so excited for this. I'm telling you, it's really, I'm having a hard time sleeping, just waiting for Friday, because my goal is not only to get the ribbon cut for this beautiful building, but to hopefully turn it over to your class of seniors, so you can at least have a week or two eating lunch in your new cafeteria. That's a dream of mine. So yeah, we're working really hard to get that done. So anyway, but Mr. Bajnath, I know you're excited as well.
Yeah, running around all day.
Yes, all day, absolutely. So anyway, that's all I have this evening.
We got any awards?
Oh, yes, I do have attendance awards.
Don't you forget that.
Yeah, I surely don't. Okay. All right, so we are gonna start with best attendance elementary. And I want to say that this school went up 0.54%. So anytime we have our schools going up, Although I will say to this school, you have been higher, but we certainly welcome the increase in attendance, 92.51%, West Park. Thank you. All right, and best attendance, and we are talking for the month of March, is for secondary. Wow, Mr. B, I don't know what to tell you. Dr. Keys, and they went up 2.08%. Congratulations, Dr. Keys. And we have a most improved this month, which we haven't had for a while. And the most improved, going up 2.08%, Tropico Middle School.
We'll have to make more room on our wall.
I'm sure you can do it.
Yes.
I know you can do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah, just that next month, I will be presenting the yearly attendance awards,
Okay.
the plaques. So, yeah, yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay. Board members' communications. Justin.
Thanks for showing up today. Appreciate staff here and people watching from home. Probably my kids may be watching, who knows? Last week I had the opportunity to go to a celebration for the California Institute of Schools over at West Park. Alma had me a cake, so I showed up. It was really good. Good job. Staff did a good job on the platter of food there as well. I was pretty impressed actually for the little catering of it and seeing all the staff. Was all very truncated by grades and everyone kind of stuck together. It was good to see. I've been out to the high school, made some visits out there. I'm gonna talk a little bit about coming up. We have the ribbon cutting. Looking forward to that on Friday. It's really impressive, honestly. I've been over there a few times. It's awesome. So you should enjoy it in your last 2 weeks. Fingers crossed. That's all I got.
Adrian.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to CMS, West Park Elementary, for your attendance recognition. Like I said, don't have very much. I just, everyone keep plugging away. We have a couple weeks to go. Seniors, enjoy your last few weeks of your high school years. It's exciting and a little sad at the same time. You'll start to get all the feels, I guess. And I just encourage everyone from elementary, middle school, high school to please make smart choices. Every choice you make, good or bad, has consequences. So please, let's make smart choices this last few weeks.
That's it. Okay, thank you. Well, I got to attend the valedictorian reception, and I thought it was unique in a couple things. And I did know you were going to Cal Davis because you and I talked about it being a bicycle school.
At Foster Freeze.
Yeah, I tell around, I get yelled at. No, I wasn't yelled at. I got my name was called at Foster Freeze. My wife says, your name's being called. I turn around and now I know where he works. So
Everyone knows it.
now we know. I did attend the Roseman Art Show. It was very interesting and a lot of fun. But the one thing of note that I got there, and that gentleman's sitting right over there, is working with students on some audio stuff. And it was impressive, and I'm glad that he's getting into that. We got into a little bit of discussion on that, so congratulations. And keep up the good work with those kids, because like you and I talked, audio engineers like me are waving goodbye and then is coming back real quick. So, Dr. Keys, guess what today? I did talk to her. The 12th is acceptable. She will be getting her new audio system in the gymnasium. And hopefully, we won't have the coming out of the speakers. So we don't have it at Roseman High School, as we know from last night and a few others, or Monday night. So we have that going, and so the gym will be available. Just that we have to make sure the kids are in the gym, because we don't want these lifts chasing them down
Yes, sir.
the gym. It's, we're getting close to the end of the season. Everybody is doing great. Our district, I think, is really excelling. We've got a lot of good administrators, especially, I call her my boss, but she keeps reminding me that I'm actually her boss. But I mean, everybody's doing the best job they can, and we're trying to make sure that our students are getting the best education that they have. And I believe that we are striving to get there, and we will keep improving all the way each year. So thank you, staff. Thank you, classified, and especially thank you to the administrators, because you got a long, hard job over there. I think the only one that's got an easy one, because we don't see his kids, is Mr. Holmes. So, other than that, that's all I have. Any subcommittee updates?
We have a couple projects, of course, ongoing. We have one coming up right now for the construction committee for the pre-K TK over at West Park. And we'll have a groundbreaking on June, I want to say around the 9th. For that project.
Thank you. Comments from the public, do we have any?
None.
None? We'll dispense with the reading. Consent items A through K. And we have a motion to consider.
Take a motion.
Okay. And anybody have any questions or comments?
Question for consent item G, is the grant, like, is it just a specific purpose, right, for the grant? Or can it be used for like multiple activities? Because I was wondering if it could be used for like scholarships as well.
I don't believe so. Mr. Irving, please correct me if I'm wrong, but is this a grant that deals with child nutrition?
California Service.
Yeah.
For sure.
The California Service Program grant, no, that is, it is, I'm gonna butcher it, Mr. B, but it's the micro grant from the county for Ethan Perkins, community engagement.
Okay.
Or
It's a CELA, civic engagement.
civic engagement, there we go, those are the words I was looking for. So this grant goes towards expanding opportunity and education around civic engagement for the students. So for the district, up to $20,000 of what the district spends to that, the county office will reimburse the district.
Any other comments? Okay, all right, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adrian?
Aye.
Okay. General, approve, updated board policies 4354, health and welfare benefits, Mrs. Dean.
Yes, board members, in your packet, if you will refer to page 81, this is this is for classified management, administrative and supervisory employees who are not in bargaining units with at least 12 years of service and are eligible to retire under the provisions of PERS shall receive 5 years of benefits. Those who have at least 20 years of service shall receive 10 years of benefits or until they reach the age of 65. And I was approached, this was actually in board policy a while back, and then it was changed, but for these particular people, they are not members of CSEA or RTA.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
A student vote?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Curriculum and instruction, first reading and review of school plan for students achievement. SPSA, Dr. Mendez.
You skipped number 8 at the top.
Oh, number 8, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Second reading and review of the board policy September 2023, Mrs. Gee.
Yes, this is your second reading for these particular board policies that were most recently updated in 2023. There is a little cheat sheet here, giving you sort of a heads up. Plus you have another one in the packet that gives you a little more details of any changes that we made or why we chose the options that we did. And just the next time you see this at the next board meeting, we will ask that the board take action on these board policies. So just another notice, please examine thoroughly. And if you have any questions or concerns, let me know before our next board meeting.
Thank you. Now, curriculum and instruction, Dr. Mendez.
All right, we have the first reading and review of the school plan for student achievement, the SIPSA, 25-26. School administrators have been working with their sites, with the team there, as well as school site council, and reviewing the plan for the upcoming school year, 25-26. We'll have the first reading and the board presentations today. Then we'll have on May 7th the second reading, and on May 21st we're proposing the third reading with action there in regards to the SIPSA. And so today is for informational purposes. School plan for student achievement presentations. Okay, we'll go ahead and start off with Roseman High Early College Campus. Mr. Wagner.
Oh. No, they save the best for last, Stretch, it's not first.
Sure, just stay quiet.
Stretch, would it be okay for you to go to the
Come here, go on the side. Left-handed. I'm fine here. Actually, I don't. I gotta be here.
Maybe there.
Yeah. I'm left-handed.
Okay.
All right, so the single plan for student achievement, SIPSA, also known as SIPSA, is the product or the result of input from English Learner Advisory Committee, ELAC, teacher leadership, which is admin and teachers, and then the school site council, teachers, parents, students, admin. As a result of all the ongoing input database, the result is the SIPSA for the school year. When we have effective SIPSAs, we get results. If not, we need to keep working on the SIPSAs, and in our case, the results were from the bottom up there. We have the dual and concurrent enrollment at work at full force. We had a couple of teachers up there in the past couple of years, and we have our test scores rising in language and math. Avid has grown school-wide, and it also translates into sporting arena. We had some champion teams this past year. There's 5 goals. The council, based on all their work on input and then came up with the 5 goals. First goal is, and what you see in red is the link to the LCAP goal. So the first goal is about academic achievement, and with the goal in this case is to increase college and career readiness by 5% annually. Currently, we're at 32.2%, and we grew 7.1% from the previous year. The goal is to jump another 5% next year again. But more specifically, the white subgroup was in green in the dashboard, Hispanic and SED in yellow, students with disabilities in red, and this happens to be a WASC school-wide goal also. So that's our baseline I just mentioned, and we just want to keep growing by 5%. How are we going to get that? We're going to continue with the college and career counselor, Mr. Nadaman, in this case, assessing transcripts, focusing specifically on some subgroups while he addresses everyone, EL, African American, and students with disabilities, offering AP classes, increasing the rigor through AP classes, and growing this AVID school-wide program, and growing the CTE pathways. We are growing from 12 to 14 pathways next year. Goal number 2, family engagement. So this one is dealing with social emotional learning, and the baseline this year was we had fewer stop-it referrals and still a high rate of gaggle reports, 109 in semester 1, but it dropped to 64 in semester 2. So the referral process is decreasing. The goal is to communicate information to parents at parent meetings, newsletters, and increase attendance. So conversely, we will see a decrease in suspension and a decrease in stop it and gaggle referrals by 10%, and mental health referrals. How are we going to accomplish that? Through giving students access to school counselors. It's easier said than done. We now added the extra step of having better access of peer-to-peer counseling and peer mediation. Kids seem to be also a great step in the process. Students having access to the software, Stop It and Gaggle, they may not know it exists, so we let them know we have it. And the holding quarterly education nights with through Ms. Cambalisa and Ms. Rodriguez to talk about the topics of, like human trafficking, suicide prevention, sending home flyers or having frequent information through Parent Square on a mental health topic, and rethinking how we deliver Character Strong. I think it needs to grow. There's room for growth in that, and the quality of that needs to be improved, as well as the seeing the effects on our student population. Alternative to suspension is making a difference on the dashboard, so that's in place. And we have our ongoing attendance to attendance program with the letters, having a list with tardies weekly, and sort of dangling those achiever trips to get them to pay serious attention to attendance. Goal number 3 is about deals with parent engagement and attendance also. So we want to increase parent involvement. Currently, we are about 50% based on data that we collect on sign-in sheets, etc. We want to grow from 50 to 75%. We want to increase more parents. This is a WASC goal also. And it looks a lot like we have a lot of parents at the sports games, but we could do better in some of the other events. We have music performances, also drama. Drama is a sold-out crowd. And we want to see attendance growth patterns and upward trends from 50 to 75%. How are we going to do that? Through social media, websites. CTE on its own has multiple committee meetings throughout the year. We have our school site on ELAC meetings monthly, AVID family nights, and we have the Achiever trip. We have a big one being planned for this year for 11th graders and 10th grade science students for next fall. And PK is continuing. We had PK 2 years ago. We had PK this year, this year. And we had up to 25 graduates. It was fewer this year, but we still have 14 or more graduates this year. So we have parent involvement. Goal number 4, student achievement. This to me is one of the biggest ones. I pay serious attention to this one. Our scores did grow, but we want to continue growing and moving the band from, we're currently in orange, we want to move to yellow. If we move up about 10%, we should see a shift in the color bands on the dashboard. This is also a WASC goal. We just can't sit back and say, we did great, but we've got to pay attention. Maintaining test scores is also almost equally difficult in the realm of things. And paying particular attention in the subgroups to our English learners. So as it is right now, we grew, we mentioned those numbers previously. So I don't need to do that, but science needs to grow. It flatlined. English and math did grow. We want to continue with the 10% growth and pay extra attention to science. How are we going to do all this? Well, we have interim practice assessments for math, English, and science. We have increasing the rigor for all students, higher level math courses for everyone. This is also a WASC goal. Offer pre-AP, AP classes and honors classes. I'm in the process of submitting 2 additional pre-AP classes, English 1 and English 2. Another WASC goal. Reduce the dependence on SLS and do more in-person classes. However, we do know there are exceptions to the rule. And once we monitor SLS closely, I believe we could fix all the issues that we currently face. And intensive math clinics, Mr. Yu did some math clinics recently during spring break. That should make a big difference. After school tutoring, we have that. We have it with ELD also, math and English and ELD. We do have the support of Solution Tree coaches. Mr. David Jones is a fantastic coach. Also, we have the KCOS county coaches coming in monthly. We have schedules where we give the teachers like a half day and put in subs and they do some planning. What are they planning? They're focusing a lot on identifying the standards, unwrapping them, and planning formative assessments. This is also beneficial for our new grading system that's slowly coming into place. And finally, AVID and Teacher Clarity, the Doug Fisher strategies are still going on across the school, and we're trying to broaden the scope of AVID to different content areas. Finally, goal number 5 is focusing specifically on our English learners and our LTEL students. That's the area of weakness, so that's the area we gotta pay extra attention to. And how are we gonna do that? Well, that's some data. 81 students took the test. 85 took the test compared to 81. 9 were reclassified last year and this year. But the LTELs and the ELs in general did not do as well, and that's an area of target.
Mr. Bosch,
Yes.
may I ask you,
Sure.
when we talk in acronyms, sometimes not
Yeah.
everybody understands, would you explain what is an LTEL?
Right, an LTEL, so within the EL students category, we have students within that who have been in long-term, they've been in English learners for a long period, and they're called LTEL, long-term English learners. Usually it's like 5 or more years. So we need to push them along. How are we going to do this? So lately we've been focusing a lot on designated ELD and integrated ELD. We know a lot about the designated through the ELD curriculum that we have with this teachers, but integrated is where we go across the school, and all teachers have a CLAT credential in California. They should know how to do this, but we have to still give them the PD to make sure that the EL kids, when they leave the ELD groups, they're now in other content areas. They might be drowning in there, so those strategies will come in very handy. There's ongoing PD from the county for that. So next year we should see a major difference. The admin are also getting the similar training. We get trained in everything that they get trained in. And we're using a special ELD observation form to make sure that we're seeing what we say they're learning. And then the counselors have a role too, addressing the EL students specifically. We have the ELD Academy, I mentioned that, and more practice tests for LPAC. Yeah, you have the QR codes are helpful. The parents could jump in and help the kids anytime too. It's not just in January or February. And then we have the PK program continuing through the parent and community center. And then something additional we brought up was CABE. Just as we have achiever trips for the kids, we want to introduce the CABE idea and for eligible EL students and ELAC parents. And that's it. And this is just a little bit of data.
Mr. Boston, one last question for me. Could you, if you could remember, how many of your students qualified or attended the Achiever Trip first semester
Last year,
this year?
the achiever trip, 200 and I believe it was 289. Yeah. And we estimate similar amount on kids. It's a Saturday, so we expect a similar number next week to the LA Zoo.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. And next, we have alternative education.
Mine doesn't look as fancy as Mr. D's did.
The Red Earth High School and Abraham Lincoln.
Far simpler. Okay, so I have two schools to go over. Mine is more simplified because I was told we only have 5 minutes, so I tried to keep it simple. So our first goal is academic achievement. We need to increase our CAS EL scores by 3%. So we need to increase the standards met and the standards nearly met from 25 to 28%. Our strategies are professional development. We're going to analyze benchmarks, Acela scores, CAS data, and identify supports. I want to add something that's not on here is we're also going to add direct instruction for English next year. So we're going to move Rare Earth to a quarter system because it is still a continuation school and we have to make up credits. So they will earn credits by the quarter. And we'll have specific English classes based on the student's need. Each quarter, it'll change what we're offering based on that. So that'll help our EL, our English language arts scores. Next is our suspension reduction. We need to reduce our suspension rate from 15% to 10%. We were at 16.1. 16.1 suspension for at least one day for some students, so we're red. We do a campus-wide contraband check. We implemented restorative practices like PBIS. We have called and done parent conferences over the phone or in person, staff development. And so we're working hard to get that rate down. Next is professional development. The goal is to get 100% of our teachers participating. We have a small number of teachers, so it should be easier to get 100%. And I can tell you that most of the time we are at that 100%. We're continuing partnerships with Solution Tree. We're doing attendance. We have attendance with two teachers from Abraham Lincoln and 2 from Rare Earth who attended the CCEA conference. And next year, I'd like to send my other 2 Rare Earth teachers so that way they're getting to attend the conference. I had really positive feedback. They just went to that conference. And then we want to use some from professional development software. Next is mathematics, science. Next is science. The goal is 55% of students in 11th grade will earn a B or better in science. This is all in Acelas that we're looking at, that this data was coming from, but I would also like to look at the 10th grade science scores and look at those to see where we have the greatest need. And we want to increase it by adding some more engagement strategies. Science is not one of the ones we're doing direct instruction on, but I would like to see us move in that direction. We're going to start with 3 subjects, but ultimately, if we can get more buildings at Rare Earth, we could add more teachers and then add science classes. Mathematics. We want to reduce the standards not met from 100% to 90%. and nearly met from 0 to 10%. We're going to implement some direct instruction next year in math as well. We want to do conferencing with students, ongoing professional development. We're going to get some support from KCSOS and math mentoring. And the direct instruction next year will be in Algebra 1, Geometry, and Statistics. They'll still do, if any student wants anything higher than that math-wise, they would still do that on SLS, because most of our students aren't taking those classes. Family and community engagement, we want to increase parent participation. We only had like 9 parents come to back to school night this year and come to things. We want to get that up. I was talking to Fallon about ways to improve this. We're gonna bring some like family nights and stuff to the school to hopefully get parents more involved in the school. So Abraham Lincoln, goal 1 is to increase the percentage of ELA. So we are still using SLS at Abraham Lincoln. So we want to try to do some PLCs for data-driven strategies. I've also talked to Dr. Mendez, or actually I sent an email to Dr. Mendez and Dan requesting a new software that would take the benchmark scores and give them targeted instruction where their gaps are specifically. So maybe they'll say yes to me and we'll get that in there. Hint, hint. Where am I at? I'm gonna stop looking at this because I lost where I was. Okay. College and career readiness. We want to increase their college and career readiness by 5%. We're going to work with Notterman to try to get more of the Abraham Lincoln students utilizing the Roseman High Early College Campus college classes. And I have a specific teacher who'd like to maybe take a whole section of the kids and maybe encourage them, since they're on independent study, to even take classes at ABC during the day, since their schedules at independent study are a little bit more flexible. Graduation rate, we want to increase the percentage of students who are graduating within 4 years by 5% annually. Our graduation rate was 65%. We want to move that to 71%. So what we're going to do is my teachers already look at the transcripts all the time, but I'm going to start looking at them to make sure I'm monitoring all the kids that are there, and the ones who aren't on track. For the ones that have the option of going back to a traditional school, if the kids aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, I want to be more on top of those re-engagement strategies and making sure kids are moving back to comprehensive campus when they're not being successful in independent study. And I want to incorporate some kind of credit recovery class into Abraham Lincoln for those kids who are coming to us behind, like our suspended expulsion population, to try to make sure we're giving them enough chances to get back on track. Science achievement, we want to move 5% more students into nearly met, increasing CAS scores from 66% to 71, standards nearly met. I mean, ultimately, I would like to have every single student at standards met, but these are the metrics we're working with. Teachers will be reviewing student science notes, and they'll be using the NGSS rubric, and PLCs using ACELA's science data, as well as the CAS science data we get from this year. Math achievement, we want to improve the ability of students' use of academic vocabulary and math, targeting a decrease of 9 points in the below standard group. We want to emphasize on concepts in communication, individualized support through ACELAS and small groups. I also want that same program I talked about for ELA would also be used for math if they let me use it for next year for my independent study students. And goal 6, reduce the percentage of chronically absent students. It's another one where I'm going to pay attention to my students who need to be put back into regular campuses. I want to work really hard on those re-engagement after 3 non-successful weeks. And then if they're still not successful after a conference, sending them back to comprehensive campus, because if they're not successful and they're not attending, they shouldn't be at Abraham Lincoln. All right. That's me. Any questions?
Tropical Middle School, Dr. Keith.
I thought you were trying to steal. There.
Yes.
Hello. The students at Tropical Middle School are resilient scholars, each bringing their own strengths, challenges, and stories. The data reveals more than these numbers, and it reflects students facing barriers such as food insecurity, limited academic resources, and the daily struggles that impact their learning. But yet, those challenges are there. We all are aware, but our staff, our dedicated school district is here to meet those needs and to create a vibrant body of students that represent more than just numbers. Our first goal and our goals, just like Mr. B explained, are aligned with the LCAP goals. Next year, TMS students scoring significantly below the state recommended targets in math and English are a definite area of focus. TMS students will increase both math and ELA CAS scores by 15%, and the strategies that we plan to implement transition to iReady for both reading and iReady math. This targeted intervention is definitely recommended by Dr. Fisher and Dr. Wexler and Wetzel. Sorry, I'm giving you a doctorate. And through this targeted intervention, both the teachers and the students are going to be able to really focus on areas of gaps in learning. And this focus will carry over into intervention classes and can be used in our academy classes as well. We're going to continue with our intervention supports during the day embedded in the master schedule, as well as our after-school academies. With a specific focus in these three areas, ELA and math CAS goals, students will increase scores by at least 15 points to move from very low to low. iReady reading benchmarks increase at or above benchmarks. Students from 47 to 52%, we expect to see a 5% gain. And iReady benchmarks increase at or above benchmark scores from 33 to 39 with a expected 6% gain. School climate is a huge area of focus. We are consistently committed to lowering suspension rates. We have done so, and we will continue. TMS will improve school climate and reduce suspensions rate by 2% for all students with a targeted focused intervention of 5% for African American students during next school year. The strategies we plan to implement, we will continue with our alternative to suspension program with an increase in restorative practices. Our ATS teacher and myself, the alternative to suspension teacher, and myself just attended a conference that Cheryl Taylor sent us to, and we came away with some really great creative strategies for our ATS room. Increase school-to-home communication and increase parent volunteers. We know that if we can get some more parents on the campus, monitoring hallways and such, that we will be able to increase our school climate. And we also are going to increase school assemblies with a focus on anti-bullying. We plan to have one each semester. Expansion of Tier 1 social emotional learning lessons delivered in classroom is going to happen through some more professional development with Character Strong. We're also going to implement student surveys that Character Strong provides inside of the curriculum, and increase school assemblies with an SEL focus of anti-bullying, one each semester. And we've also all of our committees felt that bringing some more training to our campus securities would really help in increasing those relationships. And again, a focus of 10% increase in our parent volunteers. Goal number 3, we know that our EL students are underperforming, and sorry, talking too fast. Our strategies to increase this school-wide ELD training has been implemented this school year. Noemi has ensured that Tropico, all of the students actually in the whole district, all of our teachers
have participated in this designated ELD strategies, and we're beginning to see an increase in those strategies happening on a daily basis. We're excited about our new ELD teacher. That will definitely bring some consistency to Tropico and increase monitoring strategies in all classes, ensuring the ELD standards are implemented in all core classes. There's a focus on our next generation science standards. We see that we have an area of need here, and our focus is to move from 11% to 16% and to decrease standards not met by decreasing from 25 to 20. The strategies that we will use: continuing professional development with our partnership with KCSOS, and administer more practice tests throughout the school year, increasing academic vocabulary in all science classrooms is definitely beginning to make a positive impact. Social emotional learning. California dashboard shows that our school suspension rate has decreased. We are in the yellow. While that's an area to celebrate, we know that this is also an area that we can improve on. And with our initiatives, we plan to send 10 monthly, so once a month, mental health communications to our families. Many families have communicated through our subcommittees that they want to understand social media and the dangers of social media, and asking for administration to help them to understand ways that they can help monitor their students. We plan to host 4 SEL-focused assemblies annually, reduce our total gaggle alerts from 20%, from 287 to 230, reduce suicide self-harm alerts by 10%, move from 23 to 21. Strategies that we will use: monthly parent square communications with mental health focus, social media parent awareness communication, increase in school assemblies with anti-bullying and student wellness focus, daily SEL lessons delivered in all classes. And I just wanted to take a brief moment to say thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in Tropico. We are excited about the work that we are undertaking at Tropico, excited about the improvements. Our commitment to student achievement drives every decision that we make. We remain dedicated to meeting our goals, and through innovative strategies, restorative practices, and a relentless focus on equity, we're not afraid to think outside the box, because our students deserve nothing than that. Thank you. Questions? All right.
We have a Rosamond Elementary School. Scott Small, please.
So first of all, I wanted to say thank you for putting me in there in the school. I'm used to doing high school students and things like that, and like these kids are starting to get into my heart. It's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on, but I wasn't at first. I was like, what do we do with these guys? But now I'm really enjoying it. So I'm happy to report out. This work was done before me, so I'm reporting out on basically what the community has worked with: school site council, ELA, and administrators before that. So I got a button here. Okay. Goal 1. Okay, so we have 6 goals, and I'm going to keep it pithy. So we have CAS scores that we use to follow this. We have students in red and yellow, 7 in red, 4 in yellow, and the group has decided to have a goal of increasing that from, sorry, I've lost it. I put it on here. 1 grade level of growth is what they want for the students for the year. And then, of course, some of the things that they're using is MTSS, PLC meetings, trainings, teacher clarity, one-to-one devices, K2 paraeducators, interventionists, iReady, STAR, ACEs, SST, student study teams. Those meetings go pretty good. That's pretty helpful for those kids that are having a tough time. Any questions on this one in particular? No? Okay. For goal 2, mathematics, this is, of course, again, going on our dashboard. We have 6 in red, 1 in orange, and 0 across the board there. So the group wants to increase, excuse me. The group wants to increase the minimum to increase it by 7% in those for all through grades 3 through 5. The strategies and activities, of course, are SST coordinators, classroom paraeducators, K through 2, IXL math, PLCs, PLC trainings. And I'm just going to mention Doug Fisher and a lot of these other trainings that we're getting are really paying off. I can see what's going on at that school. I was used to high school, but there is stuff happening. So that's been good. Achiever trips too. Kids seem to really enjoy those. But thank you for those. Goal 3. Okay, the dashboard results. So we had scored of 104 points below standard in ELA and 121 points below standard in math. Our goal is 3% more LEP students classified as 3 or 4 will be redesignated as higher level than the previous year. That's what we're trying to do there. And the strategies are designated EL strategic instruction, ACEs, priority, English 3D, 4th and 5th grade, small group setting for testing, 504 plans, IEPs, and ELD teacher training. And that is definitely happening. Okay, suspension rates. In the 23-24 school year, the overall suspension rate was 1.8%. This declined from the 22-23 year by 3.3%. The goal suspension rate will be reduced by another 0.5%, and annually until we meet the state standards in blue on the dashboard. Okay. A lot of these things that we're doing here are separate grade level recess times. That was the commingling, continuing implementation of PBIS, restorative practices, Character Strong, and Hope Squad. Any questions on goal 4? Okay. Parental engagement is goal 5, and the parent survey showed that there is a need for greater individual teacher-parent communication and more fun evening activities. And I know that our PTA has really helped out with that. It seems like there's stuff going like a college course that's going through the day almost every day. So I can say that this is definitely happening over there. We want to increase the percentage of parent involvement at school events, volunteering by at least 10% more volunteers, and increasing the parent communication through the use of Parent Square. PK, which I know from the high school is a really strong program. Those parents that utilize that and click into that, they seem to really, really enjoy that. And I imagine we're going to continue that in the future. Family literacy, math nights, family game night, school dances, school newsletters, Parent Square art shows, Kinder meet and greet, Kinder Easter egg hunt, awards assemblies. Those are almost every day. One site, Thanksgiving, Christmas donations and distribution, updating of school websites, keeping that updated, and PTA meetings, PTA clothing drives. So quite a bit of stuff that's currently happening. Any questions on parental engagement? No. Science. Okay, currently, sorry. Currently only 8.8% of the 5th grade students meet or exceed the standard, and the goal for RES is 5th grade students will improve their overall MET standard by 5%. And strategic activities are PLC time during the year, over the summer, and inventory curriculum and planned instruction. Any questions on that? All right, well, thank you very much.
All right. All right, this will be quick. It is. Oh, arrow. Fun. All right, so we're starting out with English language arts. Thank you. So last year for 2023-24, at the beginning of the year, our English language arts first assessment overall was 22%. By spring it was 48%. So we had some growth there. So I'm not going to read all this, but just going to kind of go over the CAS results for 23-24 for ELA students. So overall, we had an increase of 6.1 points. So that put us in the yellow in the California dashboard. And then overall, we increased with our EL students, our Hispanic students, our socioeconomically disadvantaged students, our homeless students. And one of the biggest ones are English learners scored 39.9. They scored 39.7 points below the standard, but it was an increase of 43.9 points for our EL students. So that put us in yellow. And same thing, Hispanic students went up, increase of 17.6 points. Homeless students, 13.2 points increase. Socioeconomically disadvantaged, 8.8 point increase. So our goal is 85% of our students in grades K1 will improve our STAR language arts benchmark assessment. We're kind of leading to getting all of our students to be on the iReady. That's been a success we've talked about. And then we want to move up in our 2-5 at least one grade level. Also, 85% of all students in grade students in 3rd through 5 will have a 15 increase on their EL scores on the CAS assessment. That is the goal. So some of the things that we've done, a lot of similar things to RES, but I'm going to say the most important thing has been our PLCs by far. Teachers collaborating together and going there and seeing them as I go through classrooms. Mrs. Gaines has come with me. We go from classroom to classroom and we see the teachers are doing the same thing. They're doing what they plan to do in their PLCs. And so we're seeing that's one of the most effective things. So that's been something for me that I have pushed this last year in a positive way. Things that we talk about in our leadership meetings. We talk about the data, the teachers bring their goals. How are you doing? Okay, we met this goal. They have a math goal. It might be something to do with fractions, whatever it may be. And then they give us the next goal. And then we go over those goals. It's just to keep them accountable. And then they kind of encourage each other. Sometimes they don't meet the goal, but it's awesome because it was a really good goal. It was a challenging goal. But this whole PLC process we've done, we keep seeing like when the teachers are going through it, they're finding things to improve how kids learn. And that's been really, really good. I was talking to our first grade lead and she's like, they're doing this a lot more of the enrichment. There's like these 4 questions you do in the PLC. The 4th one is enrichment. A lot of times you don't get to that. And so we really get these kids in first grade, like kids are doing division and things like that. So it's really extending the learning. Teachers are seeing things, little problems that they're having in the past, like the 2nd grade team, for example, they were with subtraction, they would get to that unit and the kids would struggle. So they realized, oh, you know what? We're going to start at the beginning of the year. So now they've gotten to it and the kids are doing fine. So that's what's so really good about this process. So there's a lot of things that add to it. We have our academies after school. A lot of times these teachers, for example, with our 5th grade, they'll use the academy teacher, they use the PLC process and they get the kids who aren't getting things and then go over those things in the academy. Thinking maps is excellent for teaching kids and how to write, generate ideas. So a lot of the AVID strategies is stuff that, again, that we've been promoting with our AVID coordinator at West Park. So we've made our staff meetings a lot an extension of our PLCs. Our math started out, we had a 7% for the iReady benchmark, met the standard. By spring, it was 40% met the standard. So a big jump on the iReady. And the iReady's been great. I think it was a really good prep, really prepared kids for the CAS. It was a much more challenging benchmark. And it has like this embedded kind of, lessons and interventions in there that really help. So, so students had an increase overall on the math by 11.9%. English learners, again, that was probably our subpopulation that increased the most, went up 39.3 points. Hispanic students went up 15.1 points. Homeless students went up 6.6 points. Our socioeconomically disadvantaged students went up 11.1 points. Students with disabilities in math went up 38.9 points. So, and our white students went up 28.6 points. No, they went down, but it increased 10.4 points in mathematics. So again, our goal is 85% of our students in grades K through 5 will improve their math. Words are hard. Math benchmark assessment results by at least one grade level from the beginning of the year benchmark assessment. So, and we want that minimum of at least 15% of the CAS increase. And so again, some of the same strategies. This year we didn't have last year that helped us a great deal. We didn't have the interventionists, now we have the interventionists. So that's been a really big help with helping students. And our interventionist, she's been a kindergarten teacher for years, so she really knows how to help those kids with reading and some of those skills that they're struggling with, and really focus on those tier 3, those ones who are really struggling. So, but we have our IXL, we have our paraeducators, which are excellent. One of which our first grade paraeducator, we named as our classified employee of the year, excellent paraeducator. And we have our other programs, our SSTs, and again, our SMART goals, which is a big part of our PLCs. Our English learners, we had a little bit of struggles with, we're kind of on this, with our LPAC scores going up, but again, on the CAPS test, our EL students went up significantly, which is excellent. And so one thing that we're looking at too, we do our integrated, but our designated, now we're gonna have an ELD teacher full time. So we're really excited about that because we think that's gonna improve the LPAC scores a lot, because you have this person completely dedicated to these students. And I'm assuming too that they'll actually administer the LPAC, which I hope that would be the case, because just like the teachers who work with the kids administer the CASP, I think I was talking to Doug Fisher about that, how that's a really important thing in helping kids improve. Suspension rates, our suspension rates have gone down. I think, I don't know if I actually put that on there, but we went down from 1 point to 0.8 last year. Sometimes you have to suspend kids, but we try to work on things like PBIS and restorative practices and building relationships. And so, and focusing on social emotional learning. It's a part of our announcements. It's a part of what we do. It's part of what I do. I don't put that in there, but I like to be around the campus and connecting and things like that, because I really feel like the relationship building with students and staff really, I think, can really help with this. And it's always been something that it's part of what I try to do, and I try to promote, because I think it's important for the students to see you out. So West Park will decrease the number of students with 1 or more referrals by 25%. So, and that's something we keep working on, and in decreasing those things. We don't get a lot of referrals from our teachers. I was looking at it. I think this year, the highest amount of referrals given by a teacher was 5. So the teachers do a really good job of keeping kids in the class and managing the behaviors. So very happy about that. Again, like RES, we have separated grade levels, recesses, lunches, make a huge difference. And these programs like PBIS and Character Strong, implementing those is really important. Parental engagement, ever since the last few years, has really gone up a lot. We have a lot of volunteers. I think this has been a huge thing. Our back to school night, our Avid back to school night, our Christmas dance thing where I got to be Santa Claus. That was quite a thing. I guess it was fun. One parent said I didn't like Santa. She said I was a little too fit, but that was funny. Okay. So we have our quarterly award ceremonies. We have our month. We have our student of the month. We have a lot of opportunities to increase. I think that the PTA does a lot at RES. We do it over there too. But they have a lot of activities, and so we really want to try to increase that with more events. But we have definitely seen an increase with our parental involvement. People do want to be involved, even going to trips and things like that. Oh, is that it? Okay. So that's it.
Have a couple comments.
Yeah. And so it was exciting by looking at that. I just want to say one more thing. So when I had shared like the data, like the increases in our staff meeting, I just was like, wow, this is neat. We went up. It was like usually like you see in orange and things like that and red and I'm like, okay, we were in yellow and all this. I'm like, this is really good. Didn't think anything of it. And then we got the email that we got this recognition as distinguished school. So we're like, what? That's awesome.
To piggyback on that, Mr. Holmes, first of all, to qualify for that award, you have to show growth in every significant student population, which you did, which is amazing. That's what we truly mean by closing that achievement gap. And the other thing that you mentioned that I just want to say, you talked about getting now to question 4, which is what do you do when students already understand and know the standard, or they've learned what you want them to learn. And in order to get to 4, you have to have first completed 3 in making sure the kids have learned. And so kudos that you were able to get to question 4, and now you're offering rigor and really engaging students with additional standards and really digging deep into those standards. So that's very commendable to your staff for being able to do that.
And I was talking with our first grade lead, and they separate still with their UA. And so the one, she has the higher group, and so they're doing division and they're super excited about it. So it was just really fun. It's fun listening to teachers be excited and talking about their students. Instead of walking by in here and saying negative things, they're talking about, oh these kids are doing so well. So it's always exciting to hear that. And I can definitely say this, if the PLC process of all the things, it really works. Our PLC coach, Joanne Flanagan, has been really amazing working with our teachers. And also like the help of like Doug Fisher has been so good, because he's such a good resource. He's such a nice person, but he's so helpful. He's so positive, and he gives such good ideas. It's very encouraging. So we definitely have had some really good supports from the district in helping us get to this point. And so very grateful for those. Very grateful that we were able to have this opportunity and get this recognition. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you all administrators for their presentations on the success for single time testing achievement. And concludes this portion. And more coming soon in terms of second and third group.
Okay, business and operations. Approve AB 1200, disclosed cost, the approval of tariff agreement for the bargaining unit, California Schools Employees Association, CSEA, and its Roseman Chapter 587. Mr. Irvin?
All right, so on the bargaining unit side, they have to make sure their members are ratifying the agreement before they move forward. On the district side, a lot less voting, a lot more putting a spreadsheet together and sending it off to our county office. AB 1200 is the assembly bill that gives county offices fiscal oversight for districts. So as part of that requirement for when it comes to negotiations and tentative agreements, we're required to send documentation to our county office of, hey, we're at the end of bargaining session. Here's what the proposed cost total out to, and then they look at the numbers on their end to make sure that we haven't made a deal that's gonna make it so that either they or the state have to come in and bail us out, because we're like, yeah, we'll do 35% on, that's fine, guys. And then we're in receivership, so they're for the cost for current year, between the increases with longevity units, the off schedule, and what am I missing? Nighttime stipend. There we go. Those costs, we're looking at approximately $403,000 for this year, and then for the out years of next year and the following year, of approximately $195,000 to $210,000, give or take, for next year and the year after. Where for next year and the after, there are more professional development days that are being added for classified bargaining members. Has been something both the district and the bargaining unit, as we were coming together, we're like, oh good, we're on the same page for this. Fantastic. So county sent back their letter of approval for the AB 1200. So we're if you're good to go, they're good to go.
Any questions?
Any questions? Adrian? Any comments? Okay, call for, motion?
Motion?
Second.
And we vote on this one, okay? Adrian, okay? Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. B, approve revised tentative agreement, TA, between the Southern Current Unified School District and the California Schools Employees Association, CSEA, and its Roseman Chapter 587, collective bargaining agreement for July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2026, dated April 10th, 2025. Mrs. Gaines.
Yeah, I sort of feel like Robert kind of,
I kind of gave away all the main.
yeah, Robert just kind of went over all this. This is the, obviously, before we could present this to the board for approval tonight, CSEA had to approve this first. And I just want to say to both Gary and, oh gosh, what am I gonna do? I'm sorry, hang on. I'm so like, Jeremy, yes, Jeremy. I meet with him all the time. Jeremy, it's been a long day, Jeremy. It truly is in your bargaining team. It's truly a pleasure to negotiate with you guys. You guys are always the consummate professionals, and I truly mean that, and I thank you for that. So we were informed that they approved with 100%. If I'm not, well, I'm done getting better than that, gentlemen. And so tonight I would like to ask our board to approve this new TA so that we can move forward and Robert can start using his calculator and take care of all that.
Okay.
How do you feel, Adrian?
This one, I read the correct answer. It was just over expenditure. Right? So I use those two reference imbalance to use place. Yeah.
All right, can I have a motion, please?
Motion?
Brendan, Adrian, any further? Approved?
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. C, approve revision to 2024-2025 certificate administration and classified management and confidential and supervisory salary schedules and the 3% off schedule effective July 1st, 2024. Mr. Irving?
Alrighty, this is for our employees that are not members of a bargaining unit. So that would follow suit with the off schedule for them as well as for the classified side, that their ed units and longevity would be on par with what CSEA's agreement has.
Okay. Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Second. Adrian, any comments? Approved?
Yeah.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. D, approved memorandum of understanding and agreement, MOU, by and between the California Schools Association, CSEA, and its Roseman Chapter 587 in the Southern Current Unified School District concerning the effects of the district's new GPS tracking system. Mr. Irving?
Alrighty, so this is an MOU that basically are GPS utilized by the district and its vehicles is for the tracking of the equipment itself and what we use to, monitor employee behavior. That there's language in there that if there's a need for discipline, that it's not tied to according to the GPS, this is what happened.
So it's not the sole reason for discipline.
Yeah, there we go.
But if there was like an accident, then we could look at the GPS and see what was happening at that time. But it's not like we're just sitting there watching where you're going all the time.
Yeah, no, there's other things to do.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Am I right? Adrian, any comments? None, so approved?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. E, approve change to contract with Medallion Contracting, Inc., order number 08 for the Roseman High Early College Campus new cafeteria, number SKUSD-RHECC-NCB, total change of $40,114.11. Mr. Irvin?
Alrighty, the bulk of this change order is, the concrete behind the cafeteria on the east side, below the mural going,
West side.
so,
West
the
side.
west side, okay. Football field side of the cafeteria.
That's what's
Thank you, guys. It's getting late. Anyways, the original plans didn't call for any concrete back there, and then as the building got nearer and nearer to completion, looking at it and being like, oh yeah, when it's raining, all that sand that's there is going to erode, and so there's that. That's about $37,000 of this is that concrete, and then there's a couple minor electrical things. The projector that was originally installed had hardware failure, so there's a change order for increased labor to take down the old and put up the new, so that if anything were to happen to the floor or the mount or anything like that, the district's not liable for those issues. Trying to mitigate potential future, higher costs there.
Sure.
Any questions?
No. Okay, have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Student vote?
Yeah.
Any question? Okay.
He's not gonna get to use it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Personnel items. Mrs. Vargas, with changes?
Yes, ask that you approve them with the changes noted earlier.
Okay, I can have a motion.
Give me a chance. I make a motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments? Adrian does not have a vote on this. It's only the three of us.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
No, I'm good.
Everybody's good?
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. So we go to the last. Okay, well, finally? I pick on them all the time. Okay, we got a motion from our student board member. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
What?
8:48.
8:48.
Okay. Wow.
It ruins my hour.
Well, that was a lot.
I know, it was a lot.
They give